This is Damon Stevens with Finwell Builders. Today is Thursday, July 28th, 2022, and the stock market update for trades of the day. We're coming into the end of the week, Friday tomorrow, and also end of month, last trading day of the month in July. So what does that mean? Well, we've had a huge run for the month of July and closing out on some highs on this week. So as we get into this, just make sure you pay attention. There's some interesting information coming out that's going to be important to listen to, especially if you're trading the day tomorrow. So stay tuned. Let's get right into it. All right. If my computer will work for us, definitely subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to our FinWealth Live YouTube channel, definitely do that. Also, if you go to finwealthlive.com, you can join our Discord where we go out and we post numbers before the market opens as far as what we're trading, when we're going long, when we're going short, and the numbers we're getting in and getting out on. So definitely take advantage of that. If you haven't already, there's also some free training out there. Look at the market. Bulls are just killed it this week. So Dow Jones closed up 1.03%, NASDAQ up 1.08%, S&P 500 up 1.21%. You can see most overall, the market killed it, just across the board. Just a really good, closing of this month here. And then also we did have one hit the scanner REX. You can see here the change was almost 200%. There's also another one on here that hit heavy, and I'm not going to cover it specifically on here, but HKD. HKD just has been a monster of a ride here, but I won't cover it tonight. But if you want to look it up, HKD, big, huge rocket ride on that stock, but high risk. So I'm not recommending you to buy it at the level, especially at the level it's at right now. Looking at the S&P 500, this is live right now. This is this evening. You can see that we got into new highs here. So 4111. So that's kind of where we're at right now. The top of this third deviation band, or this last deviation band, is 4129. It's possible we could hit that, but just a rocket ride. We just continue climbing. Today, just this killer couple days. So hopefully you're taking advantage of it. And the earnings were just really helpful in getting us there. So what do we have on the news for tomorrow? So PCE inflation index numbers tomorrow. So, PMI numbers tomorrow as well. So we had this wonderful rally and everything boosted and blown up and just really great bull run. This PCE number could change it either to the upside, and we maybe take a little bit more of a space, and maybe the bulls run the rest of their race to close out this month. But this could also bring it down. So just be really cautious on this. This is actually coming out before the market opens, 8:30 Eastern time. So just be aware of that. That number could change around, or the market makers could decide that this is a good excuse to make money on the downside. I'll show you here in a minute, but it looks like a lot of them have already cashed out a lot this month. So this is a S&P 500. This is index fund. So this is calls and puts. So this is people shorting the market, and the green is the ones going long in the market. And you see right now, there's almost 3 people shorting the market for everybody who's going long in the market. And I tell you, if you go back and watch my other videos this week, we had some huge call spikes up here. Some huge people. There was tons of contracts out here last night. And today, they've cashed them all out. So this is like pretty much empty. I've never seen it like this empty coming in onto the end of the week like this, to where you have so heavily loaded. So, to me, on the surface, I'm not saying this is what's happening, but on the surface, it looks like all the market makers cashed out for the month. Huge profits, right? They had huge gains. So on their calls, they probably just killed it. So they cashed them all out, and either they shorted the market for tomorrow, or you have all these people who are shorting, look at the market to pull back. And so does it? It doesn't have to. But right now, if you see here, it says the stock price is currently around 408. Max pain, if they want to create pain, typically for people who bought in the wrong place in the market would be 395, which would be coming down. But if we come down, these puts are going to love it. They're going to love it if we pull this down here, especially down in this area here, because at least we'll cash out these people and they'll stick all these people who are bullish. They'll lose those contracts, or they'll have to carry them over. But yeah, I've never seen this empty, so I'm cautious tomorrow. I think there could be a little bit of a pump in the morning, maybe on that number, but definitely if you're not in the market, I would not be going long. So not going long tomorrow. I'll wait and see as we hit August, which just remember August, typically in the past has been a down month, and doesn't mean it happens on August 1st. It could be mid-month, but typically it's a down month in August and part of September. And then we start to go up for the rest of the month, the rest of the year. So just be real cautious out there. Look at earnings tomorrow. It's mostly gas, right? We have a lot of gas, Phillips 66, Chevron, Exxon. So that's going to be kind of the players in the morning before the open. And then we also have that news coming out. So just be real careful as you're opening up tomorrow to make sure that you're well aware of what's going on in the market before you start trading. Looking at some of the stocks here. So Google, I have this on an 8-hour chart so you can see the after hours. And you can see, we've been in this kind of this channel going up and back and forth. We're kind of like midline. We're actually, spiked above this, this trend line, and then we kind of pull back and right at it. So that was resistance still. And the 100-day moving average is right here too. So can we push through this back up to the top of this? Or because we have this line here in the sand and we have the 200 up here, does this pull back? Now, if we can break through this line, we can possibly run up to the 200, which would complete kind of this this wave that we've been in for Google. But Google is definitely not on a bull run, definitely consolidation. And, ranges, you can trade ranges by buying at the bottom, selling at the top, short at the top, buy back at the bottom, buy at the bottom, and just kind of ride that back and forth. So that's kind of more of a scalping or a swing trading option for a few days back and forth. So you can trade that. Just be careful, because once you do get a breakout or a breakdown, then obviously you're trading again and you don't want to keep doing that. Microsoft, you see here, same thing, as kind of going back and forth. Finally got a breakout. So we're above this price here, this 277, broke above it, came back down. So we're kind of like right here, right close to it. Let's see, I think we might have just tagged it right on it. Yep. Yeah, so we're right on it. So, does Microsoft keep going from here? If it does, we're in a breakout situation where this bull is going to run. But if not, this could be also a double top here, and you could start to pull back here and come down. So just be aware of that. So we are at the highs. It looks like we just tagged the same place on Microsoft. So just be careful on that one. Make sure that there's a confirmed breakout higher before, because we're actually in this other deviation band, which means it could be coming down. Meta, so Meta 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we come down again to this low. So this is 4 times at the bottom. And you see here, we only came up halfway on this channel, which is usually bearish, right? We came up, tagged it, and then we came back down. This is very bearish for Meta. So be careful if you're trading this one, especially if you're trying to think you're going long. I don't like that it's hit down here. Usually, stocks only hit so many times at the bottom before they break through. So Meta is not looking good for a long trade. I definitely would not be adding this to my long-term portfolio. That's not financial advice. Chipotle earnings just killed it, and you can see just continues to climb up here to new highs. So if we go back here, we're back in this area here, which was back in April. So, could we go up here? We would have resistance up here. You can see here we tagged it twice. So we're pretty close to resistance area. But Chipotle's nice and strong here. Really nice bull run. And if you look at here, if this is a double bottom of sorts, this would be kind of the top here. Actually, you typically take this distance here and you double it. So we're right at resistance. So just be careful on CMG. If you haven't locked any profits, I would recommend holding some profits in and see if you can run the rest of the way, but definitely be careful because we are, we're kind of right at the edge here of some major resistance. Netflix come up here as well. Nice triple bottom. And you see here, our resistance is right there, and that's where it stopped. So this is the second day. So Netflix trying to break through. Not real bullish on Netflix unless they can break through that line. Amazon, at least on a daily chart, I'll show you the new chart, but you can see this looks like a double bottom, and we just kind of been grinding higher up towards this neckline here, which is 128.99. So let's see, did I put the chart up here? I did. 8-hour chart. So now you can see with the 8-hour chart, you can see the after hours in the announcements that came out, the earnings. You see that we went up and spiked right here, which is kind of the area where this broke down. And we're outside our deviation bands. So we're kind of right up here at the top, and then we kind of pulled back here after hours. Now that you can see that, so we did hit this 139 area, and we've already come back $10. So that was definitely a major spike, major resistance, and it pulled back. And we're right now sitting here right at the neckline. So, could we possibly run back up? It's possible we could retest this area just to make sure to see if it's something we can hold. But knowing that was resistance and we pull back, just be cautious because we could pull back into this range here that we've been in. So really, break of this 129 area, look for downside. If we can stay above it, you might be able to rally back up there, but I'd still be cautious of trying to break through this area, which was obviously resistance tonight. Apple, same thing, double bottom, just been kind of grinding slowly up here, just towards the top. You can see here's the neckline right here, which means, if you want to double that, you're probably up here somewhere towards this band. So we're getting close. Let's see, I don't think I did Apple on a day. So on 8 hours, so earnings on Apple. So you can see here kind of the double bottom, right? It came up here. Here's your neckline. Here's the line where we're at right now. So resistance is this 164, exactly where we came, which is right here, which is kind of where we consolidated. And then it looks like we pulled back to 159. So we calmed down $5 from that high tonight after earnings were announced. So we can look for, possibly a pullback here and a retry of this area. More likely it'll be resistance again, and I look for a pullback. If not, if this doesn't break back above this line here, 159 area, then we might start to retrace back here down to this neckline, which is around 151. So something to watch for. Nvidia, double top right here. It's been trying to get through this resistance. You can see this is kind of where we had, a pullback here, resistance, and a pullback again. So this has been a consolidation area over here and over here. So this will be tough to break through here on Nvidia, but if we can break through, then we have a nice night run up to 186. But right now it's kind of stopped and rejected right there. So we could become range bound here. So again, I'm be cautious on Friday with these stocks. You can see all of them are at major resistance and possibly pulling back a little bit. So Tesla had a nice run as well. But it's kind of right here in this area where we had a gap fill. So, does Tesla, if it can break above, so 864 area, we could probably run. But if 864, if it can't get above that tomorrow, look for a possible pullback here. But here's kind of where that double bottom came in. And typically we would come up to right here. That's where I have this line here, this 993. Ideal would be where we come up to the top of this breakdown candle, but we first have to get through this resistance area, which is going to be huge resistance. So I expect Tesla to pull back here as well. Meta, you can see here, it was kind of in this range. We came up, tried to break through on the 50, held it for a couple of days, and we dropped back down to the lows. So we talked about that one already. RK, just sitting here, we broke below our trend line and we got back above it. So that's good. But we're kind of flat right now. So hopefully we can just hold that nice grind's been really nice. So the dollar came down a little bit. That helps. That means money's flowing back into other assets, and we're below the 20. So that's good for us, but we do have some, obviously some support areas down here to be aware of, kind of down here in this area. So just something to be aware of. We could possibly retest and retry this candle now that we're in this candle, and maybe come down and test that 50 again. If we do, then that's going to help the market to be able to kind of, possibly rally back up a little bit further. Gold broke through the 20. So gold finally is kind of in its day, and it held right above our resistance line at 1752. So as long as we can hold here, we can possibly run back up. So gold finally kind of curled up here, had a couple of days above the 20-day moving average. Let's see if we can hold it. US oil, been trying to run up here. It's above the 20-day again. Really want to see this hold a couple of days, and try to get back up here around this $78 level to be more bullish on it. The VIX pulled down here. That's what we want to see. The VIX broke this line, below this 2232. So that's what we want to see. That way, if we keep coming down here, you could see the market continue to rally if the VIX is pulling back. That means volatility is moving out of the marketplace. But you know what? You don't know if this is ever going to pop back up. So just be cautious and optimistic. But as long as it stays low, especially on the open, that'll help us to know if the market's going to continue to go up. So I do like that it's below our support line here. That's great. That means we got a nice pullback started with the VIX. So we'll see if that continues. On a weekly, here's what I'm talking about. So there's the 200-day moving average is right here, just barely below where it's at right now. So if we hit that 200-day moving average tomorrow morning, we either got to break through it, or you could possibly get bounced. If this decides to bounce off the 200-day, then the market could start to pull back again. And you kind of see that we've had kind of this downward wedge, right? And we've kind of gone back and forth on it, and we're down at the bottom. So it just depends if we come down here again to where the bottom was before, 1845, and we bounce, or if we bounce right off that 200. And if we do, it's going to be down day tomorrow. SPY 4 hour, we're right under the 200. So this is where I'm talking about resistance. So 406.83, we popped above that after hours. So, unless we can get back above there, if we stay below 406.83 tomorrow, look for a possible pullback now that we're at this deviation band, right at that level. Same here on a daily. You can see here it was resistance twice. We're right up on this 100-day, right close to that deviation band. That's where I'm saying we could get a rejection here. Possibly. It did in the past. So we got to break through that. We'd have to hold it for a couple of days to build a run up here and try to break through that. But right now, we are at the top. On a weekly chart, we're just barely below the 20-day moving average on a weekly SPY chart. So if it, again, this is resistance for 0632 on a weekly chart. So if we can't break above and hold this, look for a pullback here. You can see we got, about 3/4 of the way up this candle. A lot of times it'll chase up the candle, maybe 3/4 of the way, maybe up towards the top, and then it pulls back. So we could, have a little bit of run here left if it does want to chase up here, but not a whole lot. So just be careful. That's why I said August might be a pullback month. So, here's this candle right here. So that puts us at, 410, 411 area, possibly for it to max out. Could go higher, could go across this candle. If it does pass this candle, we got a huge space up here to run, but I'm more likely that it's going to pull back before it goes longer. Triple Qs at resistance at the 100, 311. It's got to break above that. If it doesn't, we got to pull back. We're also at the top of our trend line, our deviation bands. So we're at this deviation band here. So that's the thing to just be aware of. When we were here before last time, this is where we had this pullback. Came up towards it, pulled back. So that's why I'm just a little cautious for tomorrow. Semiconductors, so SMH. You can see here that this was resistance before. It hit it again, pulled back. Now we busted through, but we're right at that 100, and we stayed below it. we were below it here as well and pulled back. This is where I'm saying be cautious. Unless we break through and hold a couple days above these, I still think there's a possible pullback here in the market. IWM, the Russell 2000, up at that upper band at the 100-day moving average. You can see very consistently across the board where the 100-day, every time we hit the 100-day, we rejected. So at least the last couple times. So just be careful. Financials, trying to run up here. It's got above the 50-day, but it's been rejected and it's been hovering right below it. Last time we hovered below it, we pulled down. That's just why I'm saying be cautious. Healthcare. Healthcare had this kind of like this little bottom here. It's kind of like a head, or here's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And so typically, if you do that, you just take this space here and you double it, which would put us back up in this area here. So you can see here we spiked towards the neck line right here. If we can't hold above the neckline, it will not fulfill this. We will pull back into a channel. So we got to break and hold above this 133.62 area to build a run up here and to fill what we typically get on a head and shoulder. And this is a reverse head and shoulder. So just something to be aware of. Break the neckline, I'm bullish. Don't break the neckline, then we're going to probably be in this channel. XLE energy, nice run up here. We got this bottom put in here and continue to run up. So this candle right here is our candle that we're looking at as far as the goal. You can see we got above it. We're above the 50-day and the 20, so we're above all the moving averages. So looking for a run up to 80.92 for the energy sector here and see if we can get a run back up. If we break back below these levels, then obviously, we might become range bound. But right now, energy is looking like it's, doing a great job getting ready for a new run, possibly towards those highs. Bitcoin, we've been in this little channel here, back and forth, up towards the top, which is great because we had, resistance here, failed. We're here again. So, going into this weekend, if Bitcoin can break through and hold this over the weekend, then we could have a nice rally here. Otherwise, we might pull back down and just stay in this little channel that we've been in. Ethereum. So you see they kind of broke out of this little channel here, but again, it's kind of matching that top, which I should just kind of probably bring this up to this 100-day moving average and the top of our deviation bands. You can see here, came down here. This is kind of where support consolidation happened. So the only reason to keep that in mind is we could have a rejection here because you can see that this was kind of an area of kind of where we consolidated before falling through. So we're kind of right at that level. So this could be rejection here. We could pull back. So just be aware of that with Ethereum. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. But in the meantime, be safe out there. Be careful trading out there. Definitely go out to finwealthlive.com and join our Discord. That way you can get this information and you can get updates as they come out. And also you can watch our video here. And, I should have probably turned on my sound so you could hear it. But I won't play it for you today. Definitely just go out, check it out. Just click on the link. And everybody have a safe weekend. Start a new month out tomorrow, next week. And we'll get you ready on Sunday night. We'll post a video so that you're ready for the week ahead, know what to look for, or at least what we're looking at. So everybody have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye.